All right, so I was going through looking for some workouts I want to try and do because I think my arm's healed up enough to try and gamble on a workout. I'm gonna try and go to a massage therapist though to make sure and at least get something done to help out because it's just in one little spot and I think I can gamble it. But anyway, looking up some videos to see what I can maybe get ideas for and all that. I came across Kelty Connor who's talking about he was basically crying over not having enough female superheroes or people to look up to. What about Red Sonja? And let me say, this is not a freaking an attack on women or attack on Kelty Connor or anything like that. It's just there's plenty of tough female characters out there. I don't know why other women try and wash away. Why women try and wash away other women in movies? I mean, me as a man, I can see the toughness in that. I don't know why women can't. It really annoys me. And this is going to be more of an opinion video. It's going to be a rant, and I'm sorry. But it really got to me after a while. Like, you know what? I got nothing against her personally. She must pretty much does workout videos. This is like the first video I've seen, but I just scrolled through and saw workout videos. So I don't know. I don't know if she's ever been political before, but still, it's like, Kelty, how do you forget about freaking Princess Leia choking Jabba the Hutt? The guy who basically imprisoned her, and then she freaking straight up kills him. What about Elliot Sattler, the woman who nuts up and goes to be a hero to get the power back on to try and save the kids? Who even says we can discuss sexism or sex in a survival situation? She just simply doesn't see it as, oh, I'm a woman, so therefore I'll send this old man who needs a cane to go out there and fix this. She simply says, okay, I can run faster than him. I need to go out there and do this. Don't take the power away from these women. That was a blonde character. You even say how, 5-year-old Kelty needed, a blonde superhero. It's like, dude, when you start crying, this is probably one of the reasons why there can't be a lot of tough female, why men can't see tough female characters, because women cry when they say get too emotional. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm simply saying it's, if you cry over seeing a hero, someone you can, a 5-year-old you can identify with, then maybe you wouldn't be able to be a badass hero. Look at Sigourney Weaver's character in Aliens. She simply had an attachment to this little girl. She just grabbed a gun and said, I'm going to go save this little girl, even though it might cost me my life. She went for it. Hicks got hurt. He couldn't do anything. I mean, look at, let's go to the Terminator. Look at Sarah Connor. I mean, the woman was basically, in a sense, borderline insane, I admit, but can you blame her? I mean, the fate of humanity is resting on her being able to teach her son. But, tough character. She went against a freaking machine, completely advanced machine, from way from the future, with a shotgun, and just basically went for it. Tough. That's brave crap right there, man. I mean, how do you not say, hey, respect? And she was in both movies. If you think about it, it's more, the franchise is probably a little bit more about her than it is John Connor. Because you get a glimpse of him as an adult, and you get Reese who's like pops up in one movie and then dies, and you get her this in both of them, and it is kind of like a survivor story. What happened? She was the victim. She became strong from her experience, and then she rose to an occasion, and she did what she could to make sure she was. I mean, how she's sitting there doing like chin-ups, and if you look at her muscle tone, she's a pretty strong woman. But I mean, don't act like women can't. Also, I mean, yes, women can leave bad impressions on men, and I don't mean that in a bad way. As weird as that sounds. For those of you who've seen the movie, the 1985 version, please, not the remake. Night of the Demons. Here comes this picture. Take a look at it, and you will, if you've seen the movie and you forgot about it, you will remember this. There were people who were Marines who talked too gone to this actress and talked about how they, and quote, you scared the shit out of me growing up. And that right there, bad, scared a lot of people, so you can call it a bad impression, but in a good way. Respect to that actress. I would love to meet her one day. But, I mean, let's look at the characters I had to look up to as a kid, if you want to go into, men had this and all this other stuff. Jean-Claude Van Damme, kickboxer. That's not exactly an easily attainable type of body. It really isn't. There were not a lot of female bodybuilders back in the 90s. And it wasn't because, society. Well, maybe it could have been. Actually, I heard Pet Sematary 2 was supposed to focus on the daughter, but got canceled because they didn't think people would like it. I don't know. That's stupid to me, but okay, maybe. But still, there weren't that many. Because I mean, again, Sigourney Weaver's nice. Sarah Connor was a pretty jacked character, man. I mean, let's look at Arnold though. Jesus, in Predator, if you would. This guy won, Mr. Universe how many times? And I mean, look at this dude's arms, man. Good luck reaching that. You know what I mean? I mean, naturally, anyway. I mean, for men, the bar is set pretty high for men. At least women just basically have to be about average. You don't have, just don't need like a freaking hippo. You don't have to like, go and lift extremely heavy weights. Just do some moderate weights, stay in shape, stuff like that, and not be ugly. I'm sorry, but men also can't be ugly either. Alright, actually, men gotta have power. Look at, who is it, Jude Law. No one liked him until Enemy at the Gate, then bam, he was on the cover of Sexiest Man Alive. Go look it up. You will not see him anywhere until after Enemy at the Gate, when he was a badass. And that was something women came up with, not men. But anyway, sorry, let's get into men crying now. Because there's a tough character who did cry. And I'm sure you've all seen this movie. We all have. And that's freaking John J. Rambo. What was he saying? It's talking about that kid who's like, Sarge, we want to go home. We just want to go home. Like, oh, they never got to go home. What about those kids? The man was broke down crying. People didn't shame him. People didn't hate him for it. They gave him other movies for it. And they let his character, well, I think they kind of get rid of this PTSD he had in the first one, but I don't know how or why, but they did. I'm sorry, like I said, I know this is a rant, this is an opinion video, but man, the reason, like I said, after seeing that, it just made me realize it'll never be enough, no matter what is, no matter what. It's like how, when Black Panther came out, how Blade got erased. I mean, Jesus. I mean, let's look at Snake Plissken. I mean, is that really a model? I mean, because I know someone's at throw it, like, oh, with him, he had 2 movies. Nobody really seemed to like Escape from LA. I think it's an underrated movie, but good luck. There's not too many people who agree with me on that. And then if we want to go like, oh, what about Bruce Willis? Okay, what? He was in Die Hard. Die Hard 2 was okay. Die Hard 3 was a little bit better. But let's be honest, everyone really likes the first Die Hard and Live Free or Die Hard. But they even said, hey, this is, people deemed it basically as good or better than the first one. And I can agree. I think it's just about as good as the first one. But what was he? He was a vulnerable guy. He wasn't like Captain Marvel, who could do anything, had no flaws, had no real character development, just a hollow shell, just there. I mean, what was their trials? I mean, at least this dude, barefoot, he's hurt, he's there freaking out. You know what I mean? I don't want to say he was crying, but you see him where he gets shot. You see this man, there's like, oh crap, he could lose. It's possible. I mean, it took it out of this other movie, a crying scene. I'm sorry, but let's look at Kyle Reese in Terminator. For those of you who haven't seen the deleted scene, where he's sitting there breaking down, crying out, looking at flowers, talking about how beautiful they are, looking at the stream, talking about he was never meant to see any of that, and how he wish he hadn't because now he knows what he lost or what was lost. He had 1 movie. I'm sorry, I wasn't like, I can identify with this guy. He doesn't look anything like me. I just saw a dude who grew up in a bad situation, and as someone who had an abusive mother, I grew up in a bad situation. We didn't have a lot of money either. And again, this isn't me going after women because I hate women because my mom did. I love women. I have nothing against women. I have some things against some women, but that's some. But and before someone acts like, oh, all these people were heroes and stuff like that. Okay, you sitting there telling me that, Freddy Krueger wasn't a thing? You sitting there telling me that men weren't depicted as sexual child predators? Because I'm pretty sure that's what he was, basically. I mean, he became more comical as time went on, but the first one, he was basically just a child predator. And let's be honest, let's not even try and sugarcoat that crap. Oh, Jason Voorhees was too, but at least he went after older kids and he wasn't aroused by him, he just freaking murdered them. Go on, I'm sorry, but in this video, she goes on talking about how society has tried to take power away from women and all this other stuff, and it shouldn't be a competition. Are you kidding me? Let's put aside movies, because movies are those things you saw once in a while, but TV shows, You got a new one at least once a week with good ones. So let's talk about The Critic. For those of you who remember that show, you know, the fat bald guy whose son just kind of looks down on him because this son who's like 10 years old is smarter than him. Son hardly ever popped up, but the guy was basically a loser. That character was. I don't know about the son. And then let's get into another one. For those of you who also remember, hell, you know, and let's say the guy who was beat down by his wife, you know, if he did anything out of line, if he ever got mad, talked back, or kind of got smart mouth with her. Those you can't. I'm sure some of you might remember. Duckman, anyone? You know, his wife was like what, a big time into being athletic and all that, and just beat his ass every time he said something, you know, to smart mouth her, or anytime he did something she didn't like, she just threw him against, you know, face first against the wall and broke his glasses. A part of the wall would crumble off because she just overpowered him that much. How she was even taller than him. I think he was up to her waist. I mean, yeah, if that's not trying to take power away from anybody, that's not belittling men, now is it? Let's talk about, what about, you know, fucking Steve Urkel? Yeah, because I'm sure that's the man every guy wanted to be like, you know? The wimpy guy, the wimpy loser guy who every woman looked down on, no woman wanted anything to do with. Yep, but he was intelligent. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, you know, that right there is every, you know, society teaching men, hey guys, you should learn to be smart, you know, and not worry too much about how you physically look. Or what about, hell, let's get into, we're gonna keep going. Let's look at The Simpsons, you know, because here comes this picture. I kind of like this one. I had to do it. You're right, because Homer Simpson here, pinnacle of manliness, right? This is the guy that people want to look up to. He wasn't, you know, made fun of or shamed or anything like that, you know? Let's see. I'm sorry. God. Anyway, I'm sorry. Let's look at another TV show. Because again, like I said, these came out, you got a new one at least once a week. At least once a week, you know? Unhappily Ever After. You know, the dad who was basically crazy, who spent most of his time in a basement talking to a plush bunny, and the rabbit was actually more intelligent than him. Even he admitted on occasion when they're going to go try and break his daughter out of prison, and she's asking him, Daddy, what's with the bunny? And he's like, he's the brains of the operation. The rabbit was the one that planned it all. The imaginary rabbit was the one who was telling this man what to do. So an insane dad, you're telling me, was in no way mocking men. The dad who took orders to do stupid stuff was from a rabbit, was somehow empowering the men. I just want to make sure I got this, because this is the kind of crap that gets to me. The hypocrisy. I'm not saying no one's hypocritical in some way. I'm sure I got mine, but I don't like hypocrisy. You pointed out to me, I'll reconsider everything I think. Al Bundy, however, that's the man everybody wants to be with, or be like, right? Because, you know, that loving family, that man has, you know, high paying jobs that everyone looks up to, because he was never made fun of for just being a working class Joe, right? You know, he was never insulted. He was never humiliated by his wife. He was never humiliated by other women. No, that was the guy. That was the manly man right there that everybody wanted to try and be like, that everyone looked up to. You're kidding me, right? God. Like I said, this is just top of my head. I'm just winging it. I'm just letting this thing record or go while I'm recording. And I'm just like trying to time it with the pictures here for you guys too. Because that's how easy I can just wing it from top of my head. Oh, I'm sorry. And let's talk about dads who were beat by their children. You know? Because empowering, right? The dinosaurs, anyone? Right? I mean, getting beat down by your own kid and having your kids be smarter than you, having your wife be able to tell you what's what, is somehow taking power away from women. Well, I just want to make sure I got this correct. I just want to make sure, you know, I got my ducks in line here for everybody. That way everyone sees how biased and sexist I am. Because, again, that's not hypocritical. Men were made fun of way more. Way more. I mean, Family Guy is probably one of the newer ones that was real popular. But men were completely just made fun of. I mean, Peter Griffin, he is retarded in the show. They say he's retarded. His son has bigger junk than him. Yeah, they kind of make fun of his daughter, but that didn't happen until after. You know, I don't know what the hell happened, but I'm sorry. Like I said, men have been made fun of for years longer. Years longer. Men have been the butt of every joke. Fathers have been the butt of every joke for as long as I can remember. Anyway, guys, if you want, you can end it here. Please tell me what you think. Do you agree with me? Not agree with me? And this actually, here comes a picture, a screenshot I took of Kelty crying, going on about her rant. And this is kind of what got me to, what kind of started this. And I realized, I was like, Jesus, dude, but I've seen so much of this in just a big channel and then reading the comments. And here's a transcript of everything she was saying. Because I can't play it all, obviously. But like, in Kelty, again, this is not me coming after you. This is not me telling you to shut up or anything like that. This is just me saying, you're crying. It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe because I'm a guy, and for that I'm sorry, but I don't understand it. As a minority male, I had not only been a butt of every joke, there was almost no Hispanic characters aside from Speedy Gonzalez, and even that doesn't bother me. I find that funny. But the thing for me is, like I said before, the Resident Evil, the game scared me because I was able to put myself in that situation. I didn't sit there and be like, oh, well, that's a white guy or that's a white woman. Therefore, this is scary. Parasite Eve to this day is one of my favorite games. I didn't sit there and like, oh, I'm not a blue-eyed, leggy blonde. I don't care about this character and her development or the fact that she's questioning how human she is and, you know, all this other stuff. No. Regina and Dino Crisis, that game wasn't that scary, actually, so okay, I guess. But I hope you guys see what I'm saying here. Again, this is not an attack on anyone. This isn't me trying to shame anyone. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense. The whole thing of, oh, we need more representation for women and women of color. No, we don't. We need people to quit being racist. We need people to quit being sexist. Was it Rosa Salazar, Alita, the character for Alita, talked about one of the movies she grew up with, whether she could identify was Lean on Me. There's nothing wrong with that. I had a toy action figure of Ripley from Aliens. I had nothing. It didn't faze me that it was a woman. I did not see it that way. I looked at it as tough character who I can look up to. That's it. And, you know, make that of what you will of me, but that's the truth. I have plenty of characters like that. I had the Terminator character too, or toy, action figure, whatever. Anyway, guys, for those of you stuck to this, thank you. I'll see you guys next time. Again, tell me what you think. You agree with me, don't agree with me. Please don't leave hate on their channel or anything like that. Take care, guys.